Welcome to Winning Begins at Home. I'm Randy Gravitt, and I'm glad you're with us today for this episode. We're making halftime adjustments this week. Been talking about some really cool stuff. I hope you are already making some adjustments, and it's really these are things that I'm working on. I hope they're. I said on the first episode a few weeks ago when we started this conversation that this podcast is not going to be about something as much as it is for someone. And so it's great for me to be thinking about this stuff, but I want to challenge you to be thinking about your relationships, your family. That's where we started, right? Family. And then we've been using the F's this week, the family, the fitness. Yesterday we talked finances, and today I want to talk faith. Now, this conversation may be more comfortable for some than others, but I think we all know that inside of us, there is this longing to know where we came from and why we're here and what matters most and what's true and what's not true. And St. Augustine, you can look him up. He's a long time ago. He's one of the early guys back in the beginning, I think 2nd century, maybe. I need to look up the date myself, but Augustine, here's I know what he said. Here's what he said. He said, "The heart is restless until it rests in thee." And who's the thee? The thee, T-H-E-E, the big capital T, it's God. Your heart is going to be restless until you rest in the fact that you have been created and you have been given life. And so I hope you'll be comfortable today with this conversation, knowing that your emotions, you might even want to frame it up that way, your emotions, your mind, your will, your emotions, however you want to say that. But our spiritual lives are so important. Our faith is so important. And I think for me, as I look back over the last 6 months, there are areas in my life where my faith has been tested, my faith has been stretched, my faith has been pushed, and yet I don't know that there's ever been a time where I feel like my faith is where I want it to be. It's I think that's the part on our side. Like, God's always what we want him to be. He's, I think sometimes we want to blame God for circumstances that don't go our way, but God's not some, grandpa in the sky giving out candy. I mean, I think sometimes we get it all twisted up. Sometimes the hard stuff we go through can be really formational and help our hearts to become stronger. Our capacity actually grows and resilience grows, all that kind of stuff. We're more helpful. I mean, more loving, all kind of things happen when we go through hard things. And yet I think sometimes we just want to be comfortable. Or I just want it all be good for me. That's really not the plan. And somebody told me one time there is a God and you're not. I mean, I'm so glad I'm not. I mean, it'd be like, let's just, it's almost like the old Oprah, you get a car and you get a car and you get a car. That's not the way it works. You know that. And things are hard. And so I want to encourage you today to think through your faith. What are you doing to rely on the one who, when things aren't good, he's still good? I believe that with all my heart. And so I want to encourage you to do a little bit of evaluation. And I was talking to a leader a few weeks ago and I was asking him, how are things going for you? Because I knew he was not really, he's not really leaning into his faith very much. He even said that. He's like, that's not for me. And I asked him, he's going through some hard stuff. And I said, how is that working out for you? I mean, you're trying to do this on your own. You're not relying on God. You're really not, you're not exercising any faith. You're saying that to me. How's that working out for you? And he's like, yeah, honestly, it's not. And he made an adjustment. Again, we assess, we make an adjustment. And if I'm not where I want to be, I don't have to stay there. That's the cool thing. I said it a few weeks ago. We don't get do-overs, but we do get start-overs. And so tomorrow's going to be a fresh day. And I hope you will start the day and remind yourself that you are created to do some great stuff, to be helpful, to serve, to love, to give, all that stuff. How cool would the world be? I mean, it's amazing when you see that, when you watch people live that way. And yet how many times when we are stingy, we're misers, the old miserable, word, we hold on, we clench. It just robs us of joy. It deletes all of our happiness, honestly. And it just leads to a life of depression and anxiety and stress when we clench our fists. There's just tension there. And so I want to encourage you to open your hands today and begin to pray and exercise faith and say, you know what, there's some things that I actually can be grateful for. And maybe some of those things are really great things, and some of those things are even hard things. And the people I know who are grateful in the midst of chaos, They're really fun to be around. They're really great people. And so I don't know about you, but I'm doing some assessing on my faith. I'm doing some adjusting, and I want to do some attacking as I go into the second half this year. I really want to be closer to God when the year is over than I am today. And I want that for you as well. And I hope you'll give some thought to that. If I can help you, reach out. Love to serve you any way we can. We'll be back with you tomorrow. There's one more F that I think is going to be really important for us if we're going to literally change the course of the second half of this year. And I think it's possible, but I think it's so important. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Remember, winning begins at home. Love you guys.